I want to say I grew up in the entertainment industry. I started very, very young. It was always a passion of mine. And I'm someone that when I put my mind to something, I'm unstoppable. Like I make it my goal. I'm going to get there. It's going to happen. And a story of resilience, I guess, in a way. And I guess let's go to 2007. I had my own TV show on DirecTV called Project My World. And we had a publicist. And I had asked the publicist to get us into all these events. It was my dream to go to Sundance, which if you don't know, Sundance is the largest film festival, one of the largest in the world besides Cannes. And it's in Park City, Utah. And I just wanted to go. I wanted to go to all the events that were there. And I was super excited. And my publicist came back and she said, "I'm really sorry. You didn't get into anything. I couldn't get you in." And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because I didn't tell her, but one of my dear friends runs a lot of the Sundance parties, but it's like so cliche. You can't pitch yourself. You need to have someone pitch for you. So I asked him and he's like, "Yeah, your name didn't come through." That's what I thought. Because the story in Hollywood is many publicists do not do what they say they're going to do. They just get paid. They want the money. They want the paycheck. I hate calling people out, but it's completely true. And I used to hear this all the time from a lot of friends. And yeah, so here we go. So I thought, okay, well, I've got to get in. And I asked her again and, same old spiel. And I was like, you know what? Forget this. I have my own connections. I can get myself in. But what I'm going to do is I had my production company back in the day. So what I did is I had Wadja Productions. So I just created another website and I created an email and I shortened it from productions to PR, Wadja PR. I made up a fake name that pitched myself. That was my new publicist, this name. That's quite known in Hollywood to this day still, by the way. And I pitched myself as under this fake name as a publicist. And I got into every single event that there was. And not only did I get in, I got my co-stars in to all the events as well. And so we were like laughing. We're like, okay, great. And it kind of became a like an inside joke, like, okay, well, we'll have Marty, that's actually the name I created. We'll have Marty do it for us, my alter ego. And so that's what I started to do. And I will
Marty was the fake name.
Marty was the fake name. And I don't know if Marty's a boy or a girl. Doesn't matter. People have asked and I just kind of like, oh, Marty. Yeah. Marty's so great. Like I avoid the pronouns. I don't know. Marty's made up. But it worked. And it got me into pretty much everything. And so from there, that's kind of when I launched my PR firm. I realized I have so many connections in this industry. I could just do this for myself and my friends. And then I started getting clients from there. I did work with Val Kilmer, as you mentioned. I've worked with Val Kilmer since 2002, I guess, 2002, 2003, around there. Working with him right away, I had major connections. And I started as an assistant from him. So I was doing assistant work. I know all the nitty gritty, behind the scenes stuff. And then I worked my way up in the industry. Yes, I was in front of the camera on many shows, but I was someone who wanted to experience all. So I've been a production assistant, which is called a PA. I've been a producer. I worked in casting. I worked on some big shows like Millionaire Matchmaker. And, there's been numerous things that I've worked on as far as casting wise. I've produced my own things as well as, helped produce. I just did a movie called Bobcat Moretti with Vivica Fox that comes out very soon. Yeah. So I worked on all kinds of things, in different positions in the industry. I've seen the insides and the outs in front of the camera and behind the camera. So I really understand kind of all facets of it. And I've also been the one that has been pitched, people, because I worked in casting or I worked in producing, people would pitch me, concepts, or they would pitch me ideas to give to Val or my other celebrity clients. So I was like the gatekeeper, for a lot of and by the way, the big trick in the Hollywood world is the assistant is always the gatekeeper. They think of the assistants as like the bottom of the bottom, which they are the bottom of the totem pole for sure. But we are the ones that get here later on. And we are also the gatekeepers to get your script, your concept, your pitch to that actor. You know, besides, yes, they have agents, yes, they have their managers and you know, publicists and friends, but a lot of the scripts the agents send, I get them. They land on my desk and I get to decide what's good and what isn't. I write my notes. So a lot of it is that as well. So another thing that I like to give as a tidbit for PR is make friends with everyone. You never know who anyone is, what they do, who they know, how they got there, or where they're going to be, you know, or who's making the decisions, because that little measly assistant, as you think, you know, might be down here, is actually making some huge, heavy hitting decisions. They're the gatekeeper between you and you're trying to get to. And that goes for any business. You know, think about it. The person answering the phones, they're also the one that's going to decide, oh, I'm going to take your resume and ditch it in the trash can, which I hate to say, it happens. You know, if you're rude to that secretary, you're going in the trash, or you're going at the bottom of the list for interviews, for, you know, for anything really. So have respect for anyone in any position that they're in. That's like the biggest advice, because you just never know. And they are the gatekeepers. And I say this because this was really the start and launch of my career. It came from that. But also back when I was in front of the camera, what really made me get out there, because if you Google me, and there's just a lot of things you might not want to see on there, but they're everywhere. I am everywhere. You know, I've been in the hottest, you know, I was the hottest party queen back in the day. That was my intention. I wanted to be out there. I had a blast. And so, but that being said, I look at back in like 2004, I remember I was in the crowd with Paris Hilton and everyone. And I used to watch her, how she would just waltz into a party and not be on the list and just go in, you know, and how she did it. And yes, people make fun of her, but I will say this, she's a PR queen. She was like the person that I looked to watch what she did. And I was like, I can copy this. I can do this. And so I watched what she did. And do you know what she did? She made friends with the photographers. Keynote number one. And not everyone realizes that. And I watched that because actually you have the huge red carpets with the whole backdrop that you see on Hollywood Boulevard. Yes, there's a list. Yes, there's a publicist or several running that list, and it is strict and it is tight and it may be impossible to get into. I will tell you what, I can't tell you how many times I've not been on the list and my little butt has gotten on that carpet. And I was barely known. And the reasons why, I made friends with the photographers. Again, it's like all who you know. And this goes for any industry. It's all who you know. That person you're waiting in line with while you're going through security, you know, into your office building. You never know who they are. Make friends with the security guys. You never know. And I'm not saying like just do it to get something. Do it to do it, you know? But again, you never know what connections you may create from that. And this is why I'm the publicity queen, because I make friends with everyone and I find, you know, something to connect with in almost everyone. I feel like I'm the connector. But when I made friends with those photographers, guess what would happen on those events that I wasn't on the list for? They would shout my name. They would shout my name so loud, Bridgetta, that the publicist at the front with the checklist was like, I don't see your name. Clearly they know you, just go on, you know, because, right. And so when I'm friends with the photographers and then my photos start selling, because again, your photos start selling, the photographers want more, they want more. It's again, like creating that you get into anything and anywhere. And that's what happened. I learned that very on watching from someone else. And what I'm saying in this experience, use it as another analogy. When you're with other peers, look at people you admire in business, whoever they are. You admire them for a reason. Why do you admire them? Is it because you wish to be where they're at? Or what qualities do they have that you admire? For me, when I admired Paris Hilton, I admired how she got into these. Yes, she was a name, but how she got into these events blew my mind. It was magic. And so I looked at that and I did it myself. I copied it.